going on, YouTube? I've been meaning for a while to make this video. I had shot this video before. I don't know what happened to it. So doing it over again real quick. Not going to take a lot of time, but I want to go through a discovery set of a very, very interesting fragrance house located right here in New York City. Their main offices is located in the South Bronx, or their main location is in the South Bronx. From time to time, they have pop-ups with their mobile laboratory. Right now, they've got a mobile lab, I believe, at Click USA in Tribeca, the area at Lower Manhattan. The fragrance house that I want to talk to you about real quick, I don't want to get too long with this video, is the Society of Scent. Now, the main perfumer from the Society of Scent, his name is Jean-Claude Delville. I had the opportunity to meet him, have a discussion with him about his creations, fragrances, life in general. He is an incredibly knowledgeable man. He's someone that I look up to personally. He has, a wide range of opinions on just about everything. And he's a very intelligent, very intellectual person. He's created a lot of fragrances. You might know a few of them. Clinique's Happy for women, Wings for men and women. He's done Banana Republic's M, a litany of fragrances. Many, too many for me to remember off the top of my head. He's got at least 75 of them listed in Fragrantica if you look him up on there. And these Society of Scent fragrances, I gotta tell you, they knock him out the park. He perfumed all of these, I believe, except Calalicious. And I would have to look up who did Calalicious. I'll leave it down in the description below because I don't know off the top of my head right now. I'm just doing this video over real quick. And I'm not trying to be, disrespectful or, not knowledgeable, but I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't have my other phone or tablet around me right now to look up the notes on these or to look up who perfumed Calalicious. But I believe that that's the only fragrance here that he did not do. But these fragrances are quite amazing. If I'm going to talk to you about what it is exactly they smell like, I just got to pop open this little bag that I keep them in, or that they came in. I had the opportunity to wear all of these fragrances. I did different reviews of them over on my Instagram channel, on my Instagram page. So I've talked about all of these fragrances. If you follow me over there, then you know a thing or two about these. If not, my Instagram is at Silhouettes and Sillage. I'm going to leave, again, a link down in the description. But if you're coming here, you probably came here from my Instagram. So over on my Instagram, I've got posts about all of these fragrances on the days that I took them for a spin. And out of the discovery set, I decided to buy myself a full bottle, which I'm wearing sometime this week, of Rose Rage. Now, when I say a full bottle, I mean the 15 ml bottle that they sell. These fragrances are different from a lot of other fragrance houses that you're gonna be used to. They're probably the highest quality fragrances out there right now. There is no limit to expense when it comes to sourcing materials for the fragrances that he creates or that they create there at the Society of Scent. So these fragrances would be pretty expensive if they didn't come in a smaller size. For a 15 ml bottle, it'll run you about $120 something with tax. Around that ballpark, 120, 130, around that ballpark. So these are not affordable fragrances, but they're the highest quality fragrances you're likely to get your nose on should you go down this route or go down the rabbit hole. Worth every penny. Worth every single penny, my opinion. My personal opinion. A lot of people, might scoff at paying that amount of money, $100 for 15 mLs. That's like a travel size, bro. You can get 10 mLs for $20. Well, you can get 10 mLs for $20, but the performance and the scent is probably not going to be the same as these fragrances, and that probably sounds like snobbish. Okay, that probably sounds really snobbish, and I'm not trying to go there. I'm just trying to tell you what it is I got from testing and enjoying these fragrances. A lot of the fragrance descriptions, a lot of these names definitely give you a good idea of what you got going on in the fragrance. We're going to start off talking about Silver Lightning. Silver Lightning, it's got this quality to it that gives you an energetic vibe. There is probably no other fragrance inside of this set that's as fresh as this one. This is probably a fresher scent than this is not a fresh scent in a, let's say if you ever tried Parfums de Marly's, Sedley, it's not that fresh. If you've tried Acquadigio, or it's not an aquatic freshie, it's not an aldehydic fresh, well, it's got aldehydes in it, which is what I guess gives it that freshness that I'm talking about. Silver Lightning, this fragrance, it's hard to describe without using corny sounding words. It's a little electric. It's got that nuance to it. It's got aldehydes. It's got a metallic accord in here. So Silver Lightning. A lot of the names are spot on for what it is that's inside of the fragrance. Again, if you want to know exactly what notes are in all these fragrances, please check out my Instagram because I go over all of them in detail. As far as performance, most of these you're going to get about 6 to 7 hours, depending on your application style. For the price, I don't recommend overspraying these, but you don't really need to. The fragrances don't wear thick or heavy, but they're not freshies as in they only last like 2 to 4 hours freshies. That fresh scent is due to the aldehydes, metallic accord within. But it's a decent performing fragrance. It lasts quite a bit of time. I'm going to talk about that last. Calalicious. Calalicious is a sexy scent. I believe that this has cumin or cardamom. It's a very sexy fragrance. It smells floral. It smells sort of intimate. It smells a little like skin, sort of like freshly moisturized skin, not the moisturizer itself, but skin after it's been moisturized with a slight floral nuance to it. I enjoy this one, not as much as all of the others, but this is also a fragrance that is entirely intriguing when you break down the scent that you're getting, because it's not, this is atypical. This is atypical. It's not a body sweat scent. It's more of a fresh out of the shower, minus the baby powder, but definitely oiled up. So if that sounds interesting to you, this is one to get your nose on. The next, we're going to talk about Asphalt Noir real quick. This has birch tar in it that gives it the scent of straight up asphalt. Okay, it smells like blacktop. It smells like pavement. And that fragrance note triggers a ton of scent memories for me. Okay, it brings me back, and that's one of the goals of these fragrances, are to give you a specific feeling, trigger a scent memory, to give you a redolescent vibe of, you know, a past time or a time before you were wearing this fragrance. That's the main goal for, I forgot to say, for most of the fragrances within this collection. It's a So Scent movement. They are trying to provide an ambiance, a feeling, trigger memories, specifically those connected to the scent that you're smelling, and this one triggered the most scent memories for me. I remember playing basketball as a kid with my older brother, trying to fit in with his friends that we used to go around and play ball with at the park over in Coney Island. Fights that my brother used to get into over at said ballpark, over arguments, over playing ball. Really, I've got to say that this one also reminded me of the flight line. While the flight line, for those of you who don't know, that's what you call the airports, military airports. It reminded me of the flight line out in Al-Assad, Iraq. When I used to do my job out there, it was sort of like a delivery man or a postman. It wasn't my military occupation specialty. It wasn't a part of that. But while, you know, you're serving in the military, seldom do you ever do specifically just your job, just the thing that you were trained for, especially when you're in the Marines. So this triggers a lot of flight line memories, shipping gear, seeing people that I knew out there from, you know, before the military, running into people that I'd probably seen, like the last time I saw them was maybe 4 years prior in boot camp. I ran into people a lot in the flight line, and I made, you know, friends with the Navy personnel there. Triggers a lot of memories. Asphalt Noir does. And this fragrance, again, smells kind of like you mixed up some black top with a little bit of perfumey nuance. That's what I smell, but it triggers tons of scent memories. Now the next one, Ashen Auris. Ashen Auris is kind of different for me because this one, it doesn't really trigger scent memories. It doesn't really. I have very little experience with Auris note. With the Auris flower. It's a beautiful floral fragrance, and ashen, it does smell like not burnt paper, but ash. It smells what kind of ash? Not cigarette ash, not maybe a burnt flower. This flower singed, maybe. I'm not familiar with Auris to the degree that I've smelled any outside of perfumes, or that I can say that I know the note from other fragrances in my collection. But this is a very floral forward fragrance with notes of smokiness, it's got a smoky accord or smoke accord in here, so it's pretty smoky. Smells ashy. Ashen Auris. I told you a lot of the names are spot on, but again, high quality fragrance, and one that is likely to trigger a scent memory within someone smelling something like this. The final fragrance within this discovery set, again, if you're curious about the notes of any of these fragrances, if you're more curious about breakdown on performance, longevity, sillage, please check out my Instagram page where I go in detail about all of these fragrances, because that's usually where I have the more in-depth reviews of fragrances as I wear them, and then I come here to YouTube, make a video about, more of the fragrances that I add to my personal collection. This discovery set is being passed on to a friend very soon, like tomorrow. So I decided, let's make a quick video about it and share some of what's going on inside of it here to YouTube. Maybe someone checks out the video, gets a little interested, and picks up one for themselves. I believe this discovery set was around the $35 range. Yeah, somewhere in the 30s. So while the actual 15 ml bottles are a bit expensive for the size, This is highly affordable. A good way to get your nose on them and decide for yourself if you're interested in pursuing a 15 ml bottle. But let's talk about Rose Rage. One whose notes list I'm sort of intimate with. It's got rose, cumin, incense. What else? Oh man. Well, that's all I can remember off the top of my head. But this is a sexy fragrance, okay? Let me tell you. This one, I decided to get a full bottle because I believe wholeheartedly that the note of rose triggers happy feelings, happy thoughts for me. If you watched any of the other reviews that I have here on my YouTube, or if you follow me on Instagram, you know that rose is a scent in my aromatherapy that I use to combat anxiety triggered by post-traumatic stress. I carry around a travel sprayer, Frasi's Rosa Sacra, because the rose notes, the multiple rose notes in there, the accords, the floral accords are lovely, and they give me happy, joy feelings anytime that I get a sniff of them. Getting a whiff of this, it's not the same. This is a beautiful Damascus rose, okay? I remember what kind of rose is in here because it is unique. It gives me those happy, joy vibes, but it is also beautiful, realistic smelling. This is like walking up to a fresh bushel of rose bush. This is walk up to a fresh rose bush and just taking in that scent, taking in the petals, taking in the thorns, taking in everything about it. This is a beautiful Damascus rose. The incense, the cumin here, it creates a beautiful, sexy accord. Gives me a sexy vibe. This could be considered Valentine's Day in a bottle for some people because it's that sexy. I decided, of course, to go in on the bottle because this is just it. It talks to me on another level. It really does. This is one of my favorite rose fragrances. Period. It doesn't trump Rosa Sacra. Only because Rosa Sacra is a sort of applicable in any heat, in any cold situation. I believe that one would perform the same. This one, I would more wear or recommend later in the year during a cooler day. Would I recommend this on an 80-degree day? Probably not. Would I recommend this in a high heat, in the sunlight? Maybe not. We're going to find out, though, because it's been around 80 to 89 degrees this week, and I'm going to give my bottle a spin. I'm going to give this a wear. But I did give this a nice wear during the cooler weather, and if I'm being honest, I got the bottle. It says something. It's one of the most beautiful roses that I've ever smelled. I urge you to get your nose on that if you have curiosity about anything. And again, you can try these for yourself by picking up a discovery set, or if you're in the NYC area, you can actually visit their labs, the laboratory, Society of Scent Laboratory in the South Bronx. I'll leave a link to their website down in the description box below, and you can check out all of their information there. Also, you can check out the notes for these fragrances and get more information on the perfumer for Calalicious, who, again, I just can't remember off the top of my head. Didn't want to make this video too long. It ended up being almost 20 minutes, but that's how it goes sometimes when you're editing content or creating content for YouTube. Certain things just run, they bleed out. Thank you if you checked out this video on the Society of Scent Discovery Set. Again, links down in the description for more information on all of these fragrances. Thank you for checking out this video, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.